Abadigani, comrade. What, you still on that freedom shit? Word? Well, yeah, you know me in this poetry, we still be on that weedum shit. That birthing inspirational couplets and freedom shit. That I spit, cat should heed 'em shit. That words can't break my bones, but if you cut me, Holmes, I bleed 'em. Shit. Atonement for the masses of hard asses and heads that tread on civil liberties in the most uncivilized of fashion is said to be dead. Can we afford to be dumb for free? See, that's the question I'm asking as I beg for an ounce of truth amongst the aloof surrounding me. My vices are proof that these demons keep hounding me. Reality keeps pounding me, almost astounding me into this strange hypocrisy. You see, I preach the same hope that I'm losing daily, like my religion. Peep how deep I bear my soul. I stand on the precipice of this crossroads. It's like I want to give my life to the cause, but which one? Ignorance is running so ridiculously rampant, I can't tell if I'm hating or merely debating just for fun. But I do know my heart heaves heavy upon hearing the fluttering hum of the feeble footsteps of fear, stamping out the ferocious flames of our dogged desire and determination to outpace the perilous prophecy our captors have programmed to be our faith, and thus our fate. I know my soul writhes with anxiety aches. Lies no longer need disguise when they start looking like the truth. Like, how do we ignore cries of ill-guided youth spitting dope bars of self-hate over beats that bang harder than strange fruit hangs? Meanwhile, her breasts hang and her booty bangs harder than the gun claps of rival gangs fighting over territory they don't even own. And in magic cities everywhere, she feeds her babies based on her ability to shake what her mama gave her because her pops was too busy breaking in his disappearing act to save her from these mean streets that eat the meek in one swallow. Lies no longer need disguise when the truth is viewed as hollow through the eyes that need it most. We, descendants of stolen legacies, children of ancestors who cannot be broken, birthers and bearers of a culture that has been repeatedly robbed and ransacked to feed the spiritually famine like a black woman's bosom. We who become a pre-existing condition simply because we pre-exist. We who realize we are worthy. We are the guardians. We are the gardeners. We are the soil. We are the toil. We are the protectors of our seeds who need to be protected, who need to see true love and black excellence redirected, not through fame and fortune, but redirected through character and deed.
KBLA Talk 1580, the words of Malcolm Jamal Warner, the poetry of Malcolm Jamal Warner. As we will be paying tribute to him all morning here on KBLA Talk 1580. Next hour, I'll be joined by Jill Monroe and possibly some others. We'll see what happens as we pay tribute to an elite actor. I say elite because it's very few that reach the levels of accomplishment that he has reached, but also a poet and an artist who contributed in many ways to his community. So we'll be having that conversation next hour, and you're invited in as always. 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. If you miss any of these conversations, including first hour of the Tavis Smiley Show today will be a tribute with many of his interviews of Malcolm Jamal Warner. Those podcasts are available on our app. Our app is new and improved. It's updated, and you can either refresh it on your phone, or if you don't have it yet, download it. That helps us tremendously. And we always have new content and stuff there that isn't available elsewhere, along with easy access to our apps. You can find our pods. You can find the pods wherever you get your podcasts, and you can also find them on YouTube where they live. She is a strategist. She's worked at all levels of government, developing custom communication strategies and messages for elected officials, political campaigns, nonprofit organizations, and people in crisis. I added that because I've seen it with my own eyes. She's a public affairs and communication strategist, a writer, and a journalist, television and radio commentator, focuses on political, race, social issues, and more. Was counted as Essence Magazine's 25 Women Shaping the World. Jasmyne Cannick, good morning.
Good morning, Dominique. How are you?
I'm blessed and highly favored. How are you?
The same.
Thank you for coming in. Great to have you here. And I gave you a really long list of things we might talk about. But usually when I give you a list, you're like, no, all of those things are boring. Let's talk about this.
So there's so much to talk about, from the cankles to the, let's make racist branding again with our sports team. I'm like, oh, does this mean Aunt Jemima's syrup is coming back and Uncle Ben's rice is on deck to make a return? I mean, there's just so much going on. And then that's nationally. And then when you look locally, we got Adino. Come on now, KBLA. We know what Dinos are, Democrats in name only, who came out as his true, authentic self. And I was really happy for him when he finally came out the closet. Alex Villanueva came out as a Republican a few months ago.
Yes, he did.
Who has now decided he wants his old job back as sheriff.
I mean, Jasmine, to me, that's like Little Richard coming out and saying he might be gay.
If
it walks like a MAGA, if it talks like a MAGA.
Right. There's just like from the local level all the way up to, what's going on in D.C. I have had so much to ponder and think about, especially with this president. But, as I always tell people, whatever happens locally is just as important. And
so goes LA, so goes the world.
Well, we're putting up a good fight. I will say we're not, we're not rolling over for the Trump administration. I'm happy to see that folks in leadership are pushing back. Yeah.
So you're feeling Newsom the troll? Because he's been trolling the Trump administration. You're feeling Mayor Bass, the resistance.
I'm not a Newsom fan, but some of the things he does, I agree with. Some of the things I don't. In terms of the trolling, look, we are in a new age right now. It is constantly fascinating to me, the levels, how low it's like the bar is in hell when it comes to our president.
The bar is in hell.
And so we're in a different time,
that's
right?
How low it can go, in case
where
you were
manners
wondering.
and etiquette and respect have all gone out the window. Yeah. And so we're dealing with a man who has none of that. And it's interesting watching politicians who are still sort of stuck in that, try to figure out how do you fight against this, right?
But you say stuck in it like it's a bad thing. Could we get the return of decorum and elegance and kindness into the public discourse? Could that happen?
I don't know if it's going to come back, but I would like to see that. But in the meantime, we have to put the 1980s and the 1990s playbook down.
Yeah.
Okay?
I feel you.
You cannot fight fire with water. You need to fight fire with fire. You need to go toe to toe. When the minister of misinformation, a.k.a. the press secretary, came out and tried to distract folks with his cankles and swollen hand, I was the first one to say clots and prayers.
You're so wrong.
No, I am not wrong.
But explain, what are cankles? Explain what cankles are, Jasmine.
Elephant ankles, Mm-hmm. And look, again, I'm not a fan of making fun of people's personal appearance. I don't know if you want to call it disability, but their appearance, right? But he's made an entire career off of it.
Yes, he has.
Judging women, judging men,
disabled
talking
people,
about exactly.
Mocking
so
disabled
you're going to
people.
get that same energy out of me. So yes, clots and prayers. While there's a picture of a Diet Coke right next to your huge ankles. I love how the media is zooming in on every single part of his body now. And because he's so vain, I know that bothers him. Because he is extremely vain. He's made that very clear. So I'm all for it. If that's, if you can dish it, you can take it.
Yeah. No, I agree. So many things that I'm thinking about when you're saying that, but I agree. You can't bring a knife to a gunfight, and the Democratic Party's definitely doing that, and even some of the sort of old school Republicans who are quietly asking for some normalcy, which they ain't gonna get.
Times change.
But at the same time, we got to hold the line. I mean, I'm not Wendy Williams. You're not Wendy Williams. No, I shouldn't pick on her. She's not well. But you know what I'm saying? That style of journalism, which is where the bar is in hell and anything goes for clicks. And some of us are kind of holding the line. Does that make us dinosaurs? Not dinos as in Dems in name only, but dinos as in dinosaurs.
It might.
Tyrannosaurus Rexes.
Look,
on the mic.
Again, things have changed though. A lot has changed. I've even seen the news media kowtowing towards the administration. I think we've all seen.
Oh my God, Stephen Colbert! Can you say?
Canceled.
Yeah. Cancel culture is coming from the White House now.
Yeah. Basically, all it takes is for him to post something about what he doesn't like on Truth Social for folks to get into place. There's in some areas I see a lot of resistance, and then in other areas I don't see the resistance.
Yeah, we see preemptive surrender. I don't know if the Wall Street Journal is going to back down, but did you see where he was gloating on yesterday saying Jimmy Kimmel's next?
No, I was so buried in work yesterday.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, but but I kind of say that to second what you were saying, because I feel like he's telling media outlets, this is what would appease me.
Yeah.
Okay, you got rid of Colbert. Thank you. Jimmy Kimmel's next.
And folks need to think about that. One of my favorite movies. Thank you. One of my favorite movies, and it was a graphic novel, but I really encourage folks who haven't seen this movie, I really encourage you to watch it, is V for Vendetta. And V for Vendetta is an excellent critique about what is for us to look at what is happening right now here in the U.S. It's highly entertaining. Don't worry, it's a great film, but you will see notes of what is happening right now. And one of the things that's happening now that I remember in the movie is the silencing of voices of dissent. Starting with the folks on television, right? And I remember there's one scene in the film where the anchors and the news folks are like, it's not our job to fabricate the news. That's the government's job. We just repeat what they say.
We just repeat what
they say.
Right.
That's I'm loosely translating the line, but it went something like that. And I see a lot of that going on today. And it's very, very scary. One of the last places I think where you can still mingle with like-minded folks and just really talk about these things is social media. For years I couldn't stand social media, but I've been using it all year to just really expand my tribe and just make sure I'm not the only one that feels this way about this. I'm not the only one looking at things in this way. And I appreciate that, because more and more I see the news media just, really cozying up to the Trump administration, not reporting on stories accurately. It's very scary.
Kissing all the way into the booty is what I see. It's really at a level I've never seen before. Jasmyne Cannick is here, and we're not going to talk about my boring stories. We're going to talk about her.
Oh my God!
Interesting
stories.
No
I'll
stories.
Go back over that list.
No story is boring when you're here.
Oh, you're so sweet.
800-920-1580. We are unapologetically outspoken, unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online.
Uh-huh.
I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
The conversation continues right now. With Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
Jasmyne Cannick is my guest, and we were talking off mic about AI and how it's sort of, I mean, it's a gift and a blessing, a gift and a curse, right?
It is. And for, those of us that love, talk radio, love news radio, it's starting to creep into our, it's starting to, I guess it was already creeping in the radio, but it is really starting. And I was mentioning to Dominique, but I don't want to get into it yet because I'm not ready.
Oh, you're not ready to have that conversation?
No.
But Miles is the king of spotting those fake AI commercials and stuff. He's like, that's AI, that's AI. And
I see them all the time on
TV.
television.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look how many actors just lost a job. How many voiceover artists like myself just lost a job.
Yeah, it's, yeah, the robots are here.
The robots are here, and they're coming for your job.
They're not just coming for you. They're already here. They've already taken your job.
They're coming for, well, I'm still me. This is not the AI Dominique. And I think you'll know because she'll have my voice, but she'll be doing and saying things that are not me. And that's why I think it's temporary. Most of us aren't paying enough attention to distinguish yet. So we may all lose our jobs, but then eventually people are going to say, that doesn't sound right. That sounds fake.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole story with the CEO, and his side piece at the Coldplay concert.
Don't get me started on that, because how dare you disrespect the discography like that? I love Coldplay. That's my favorite band.
I knew you would love Coldplay.
That is my favorite band. Like, my friends who know me know that's my favorite band. I love me some Chris Martin. I love Coldplay. People are there licking their wounds, examining their lives. That's the kind of music you reflect to life on. The one who got away, the one, all these different things.
Yeah, you're
cheating is take that crap to a future concert with the rest of the folks. Do not do that at Coldplay's concert?
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not into Coldplay like that, but
you should be.
I met Chris Martin. I didn't meet him.
Amazing.
I saw him at an award show recently, and he was so funny and so kind and affable that I thought, oh, I'm going to check out his music.
Start at the beginning. At the beginning.
I will. I'm not a Coldplay fan, but I'm now a Chris Martin fan.
He's an activist.
I just love the way he was. He was at the Sierra Club Awards honoring Jane Goodall and Jessica Sarowitz of Stalker Street Studios, and he was just great. He was amazing. Yeah. No celebrity BS.
No, he's really nice, and he puts a lot of money in the into the causes that he believes in. Yeah,
he wrote a whole song for Jane Goodall. It was very cute. But anyway, I didn't think you'd be mad about the cheating, but I thought it was a really.
I'm always mad about cheating.
Well, yeah, okay. Who hurt you?
I'm always bitter about that.
Yeah, leave it to the Libras. They never forgive. They might forget, but they never forgive. Anyway, I was thinking this is a really teachable moment for fake news, AI, and, consider the source, because remember the letter that came out from the CEO, which wasn't really by the CEO. Now there's a letter circulating that's supposed to be from the CEO's wife that's not really from the CEO's wife. There's all of these components to this cheating story that has captivated America that are either AI or just fake.
Yeah, it's very, very hard, and you really do. You have to put as much. I don't even know if this is the right way to say this, because I don't think people put enough effort into this, but you got to put as much effort into weeding out those scam emails that you get as you do with reading the news. Like, you have to.
I thought you were going to say reading your significant other's text messages on their phone.
No, you should never. Just a side note, if you feel you got to read your partner's text messages on their phone, they are not the one for you.
You know what? I so agree with that.
That is
because
a sign right there.
It's taking up mental space that you should be using for creative purposes. Yeah.
There's no trust there. So and we can do a relationship show, because
let's do that.
I, who has no relationship, has all the relationship advice in the world. Let me just tell you, okay?
I know, it's those of us who are unmarried.
But but it's okay. We have the best perspective because we've gone through it, and we can tell you straight up. Like, if you got to read your girlfriend or boyfriend's text messages, you are not in the right relationship.
You are wasting your creative energy.
You're doing something wrong.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, you have to put that same energy into it. You have to. Every now and then, maybe I might fall for something, but not all the way, because I do my research. So one of the things that I do on a daily basis, Dominique, is that when I see a story and I'm like, I'll give you a good example. The woman who married her AI boyfriend. Now, logical Jasmine is like, this cannot be for real. But the other side of me said, get on Google. Do you a Google and, yes, the woman married her AI boyfriend. Well, they are now husband and wife. So that was a true story. But I do research things.
Can it cheat on her?
I imagine it could.
Anyway, sorry, I did.
I know. I had a lot of questions too.
Yeah.
But but that's what a lot of folks don't do, and that is what folks behind sort of the misleading news depend on. I believe that wholeheartedly with the Trump administration.
Yeah. That
they rely on people who are just going to take things at face value. I don't know if this is a good segue. It may not be, but I'm gonna try to make it work. One of the things I had such great joy in this past weekend, besides celebrating our girl Nana's birthday,
Attorney Nana Johnfee, happy
birthday, was watching MAGA Republicans call into talk radio shows crying about Trump, and those are real calls and real people,
not AI.
But, going back to the misinformation that I had spoken of with the administration, one of the things that people kept crying about was, he's telling us to move on and it's old news when he's still talking about Obama and Biden. And I was like, with my popcorn and my iced coffee, I was on the ground. And I was just thinking to myself, because they believed in the misinformation. The Trump administration requires, this is such a great time for the Trump administration with AI being in the position that it's in. I've even seen, I was very irritated, I think I'll go with that because we're on radio, with the Trump administration for putting out that AI generated video. Well, let me rephrase that because I still try to be accurate. I was very irritated with President Trump for using his Truth Social account to post a video that was AI generated of President Obama being arrested.
Yeah, I was irritated by that too.
So
alarmed, actually.
Right. So when people wonder, like, well, you should never wonder this about me. But for those who do, because I get this occasionally, why are you so petty? Why are you so mean to the president? You get from me what you give. Okay.
Yeah.
He literally, this is the president of the United States posting an AI generated video of a former president being arrested. And when we go back to our previous conversation about him signaling things and, what he wants to see happen. And then we see what happened with, what's her name over the weekend? Tulsi
Gabbard.
Right. We are living in some dangerous times, although entertaining at the same time, very, very dangerous.
Jasmyne Cannick is my guest. We got news, traffic, and sports right now, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA Talk 1580 is an intervention. When we come forward, includes you. KBLA Talk 1580, turning pain into power.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 700 active duty Marines are leaving Los Angeles today after being deployed since June to guard federal buildings during protests over immigration raids. Black Mayor Karen Bass calls their exit a victory.
Our voices were heard. They're not trained in crowd control. They're trained to fight on foreign lands. 2,000
National Guard troops have also been pulled, though another 2,000 remain. A white woman called police on black men playing basketball on the court at an apartment complex where one of them lived, claiming trespassing. A black officer arrived and sided with the players, citing a sign that allowed residents to play and invite guests. The TikTok video sparked outrage over racial profiling. And a 19-year-old pregnant black woman from Philadelphia was fatally shot by her boyfriend last fall. Doctors delivered Tanaya Bell's baby, Miracle, just minutes later. Now 8 months old, Miracle is being raised by her grandmother, who's calling her a blessing. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and more for a child in poverty. And there are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
Is this the This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Dodgers snapped a 3-game losing streak last night. They beat Minnesota 5-1 at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers got 2 home runs from catcher Will Smith and 1 by Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani now has 35 homers this season. The Angels had a 4-0 lead last night in New York against the Mets but couldn't hold it. They lost 7-5. The Angels had chances to put the Mets away. They left 8 men on base. The LA Sparks are back in action tonight after the WNBA All-Star break. They're in Washington, D.C. to take on the Mystics. The Sparks are aiming for their first 3-game winning streak this season. If you're a fan of Southern California rapper Tyler, the Creator, you'll see LeBron in the video promoting his new song, Stop Playing With Me. The song and video dropped on Monday. Also in the video is LeBron's business manager, Maverick Carter. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
All I need is one mic.
With the KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Recently, I listened to a Tavis Smiley Show conversation with James Farr. At one point, James said something that caught me off guard. Not because it wasn't true, but because it is. Black Altadena is gone. I know it may seem stupid and non-productive, but I stopped in that moment listening to Tavis and James. I broke down and cried. In the back of my mind, I told myself we can bring it back like it was. But James Farr's reality check hit me like a ton of bricks. My community is being murdered. I said murdered, not by the Altadena Eaton Canyon fire, but by the people we elect to protect us, and by greedy and gatekeeping nonprofits who cannot see the forest for the trees. For the first time since the fire, I truly feel and understand my wife's inconsolable pain. Because I'm struggling to find a path to recovery and at least some form of normalcy. My community is crumbling right in front of my face. Lack of funding to rebuild is slowly destroying us. Many of us can no longer hold out, and developers are gobbling up our property. When I hear voices like Tavis Smiley and James Farr speak truth to power on KBLA Talk 1580, it reminds me that we're not crazy, just unheard. Make no mistake here, KBLA delegation, this is war, and we the people of Black Altadena are losing. It's like waiting for reparation. Not gonna happen, brother. In this new orange man world, no one, no entity is persuaded by right or wrong. There is no consequence for doing the wrong thing, and no accolades or support for doing the right thing. Will war-torn Black Altadena survive? Your guess is as good as mine. But what have I got to lose? I'm in my 70s and don't have time to wait. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once suggested that riots break out when people have no hope. But there's nothing left to burn down in Altadena. I wish I could say I remain hopeful that my beloved community will rise again like a phoenix from the ashes. I wish I could. With a KBLA Talk 1580 guest editorial, I'm Martin Gordon, chair of the Pasadena Community Coalition. Pasadena Community Coalition at gmail.com. Reach out to me. As always, we welcome your feedback.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, this is Dr. Rosa Milligan, self-appointed mayor of South Central LA. Attention business owners, protect your family now. Your business should never bankrupt your family. Form an LLC now. Register for my Zoom seminar at mytechacademy.net or call 213-878-4742.
In today's sue-happy society, one lawsuit could wipe out your home, money, investments, even the inheritance meant for your grandchildren. But there's good news. An LLC protects your personal assets and your legacy. It's the shield every smart business owner needs. Register now for Dr. Rosie's powerful seminar at mytechacademy.net or call directly at 213-878-4742.
As an experienced business consultant, I will help you set it up right the first time. Visit mytechacademy.net. Call me 213-878-4742. Protect your family. Secure your legacy. Form your LLC today.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Gonna sing
KBLA Talk 1580. That would be good, Jasmyne.
No, not this. I'm still working on my first coffee yet. that songstress is not in me yet.
But this was a tribute.
Yes, I thank you, Miles. Thank you. Yes, to Jewel Tice Williams and the Catch One, and this was one of the songs I used when posting about Jewel's passing last week. And yeah, for folks who don't know, Jewel Tice Williams was sort of the Black LGBT matriarch was the Black LGBT matriarch of Los Angeles and the owner of the Catch One on Pico. And Mother Jewel transitioned. And this Sunday, Los Angeles will be coming together to celebrate her life. And you and I had talked about this, Dominique, and we were like, yeah, we were going to talk about it while I was here. And I'm so happy we were able to, thank you again, Miles, in 30 seconds, pull up this song and get it on. Because I think that is how a lot of people feel. They want to say thank you. And I'm pretty sure folks are coming from outside of Los Angeles to this celebration on Sunday. It's
like a celebration of life on Sunday?
It is, but in the way that she would have it done. It will be at the Catch One on Sunday.
That's Crenshaw and Pico.
Right, 4067 Pico, Some of us old timers, we know that place.
Here's the thing, I never met Jewel.
Really?
I never met her. I have been to Catch One more than once, hanging out, and especially back in the day when it was really, really popular. But I imagine that she opened up space. I think there's this misconception or stereotype maybe that Hollywood is all welcoming to LGBTQ plus people.
Yeah.
Or that it's always been that way. Or that it's the same for Black gay, lesbian, transgender people as others.
Yeah. And no. So West Hollywood, look. People without color are going to be people without color. And it does not matter whether or not you identify as LGBTQ or any other part of the alphabet soup. Racism has been rampant in West Hollywood. Okay. Now, there are younger generations who are living their best life. They go to West Hollywood all the time. They feel like they have a good time and that they're accepted. I do admit a lot of changes have been made in that city. But back in the day, it wasn't like that. And there were a lot of racist rules for clubs about pants being baggy, hats, certain things that definitely targeted the Black community in terms of entrance into nights and clubs. I want to definitely also remember Ivan Daniel, who was the first, Black man to have a gay night in West Hollywood, to have a club nights for Black gay folks. Who also passed away last year. So, Jewel knowing this created a space within our community for us. And I wasn't born when she opened the club, but I certainly did benefit from it. And it was I always feel bad saying this, but I'm grown now. So yes, it was one of the first clubs I snuck into. I was younger, and it was great. And back then, look, I was in my early 20s, and I wasn't the person that I am today. But what I am grateful for is through the years I did get to know Miss Jewel, right? And one of the things I really admired her for was she understood needing a place to be able to dance, let off steam, catch one, and have a good time. But she was equally supportive of those of us who were in the movement trying to get things done too. She was a huge supporter of Minority AIDS Project. Her and her wife had Rue's House, which was a place for women who were living with AIDS. And people need to remember, back in the 80s and the 90s, it breaks my heart, to talk about it, but it's the truth. We had Black churches and Black families who were kicking out their relatives who were sick with HIV, wouldn't allow folks to be buried at their churches, would not allow repasts to happen at their churches. And Jewel opened up that space for many, many, many of those types of events, right? As well as being a supporter of projects like Dignity House, and other organizations. She was personally supportive of my work sort of in the political sphere, from, raising money to, needing, do you need space to have a fundraiser? Like, she was just always very, very supportive of me personally and of our community as a whole. And her opening, some people didn't know Jewel from the Catch One, but they did know the Village.
Yeah, that's true.
And they were able to, like I myself, learn about Chinese medicine and acupuncture and all these different herbs. She was the person who taught me about that, who, when I had sciatica and I didn't know what to do and I was at my wit's end, had me come and have acupuncture, which did help, So there are different generations, I think, who know Jewel for different reasons. Some of us had the opportunity to know both the Catch One and the Village and the woman personally, but I guarantee you that every Black queer person, particularly these younger folks walking around here in LA, are living their best queer life because of a woman named Jewel Thais Williams. And I am very adamant about giving respect to our elders who paved the way for folks to be able to do all the things that they do today that they think is just their right, that they think just miraculously happened. There were the Ivan Daniel, the Mother Gorgeous Gucci's, the Jewel Thais Williams, the many more who thankfully are still with us today that laid that groundwork and represented for our community. And she was definitely one of them.
And that open space. I mean, to me, it opens space even if you're not LGBTQ plus, if you're me and you just want to be however you want to be in the world, you know what I mean? And I think we don't give enough credit. It's like when we talk about Prince, he opened a space for people to be gay or not gay or just have their own style.
Just like to be a man and wear heels.
Right. Or just like to be a girl and be whatever she be on that any given day. So I think all of us owe a debt of gratitude. That said, the LGBTQ plus Pride Festival of South LA.
South LA Pride is definitely
ours is not in June, apparently.
No, okay. Now, just to be clear, just so folks can understand something, there is a Federation of Black Prides. I think it's called, the actual name is the International Federation of Black Prides. There are many prides that do not take place in June, and that is by design. I mean, as I said earlier, the people without the gay, people without color community, just because they're gay does not mean they weren't racist.
The colorless rainbow.
So, yeah. So a lot of communities, Atlanta is known for having theirs. I believe it's Labor Day weekend. DC is known for having it Memorial Day weekend. LA just had their Black Pride. It's always a 4th of July weekend and the big beach party. So that's been going on for decades, right? South LA Pride is relatively new in the scheme of prides. This year is its 7th year. And that's coming up on August 9th at the Michelle and Barack Obama Sports Complex. It's completely free. Y'all should come out and celebrate. A lot of folks from the community have come together and been working for months to put together this huge community picnic, live entertainment. It should be a really, really great event. I'm always honored to be a part of it.
What are the hours of that?
12 to 8. It's 12 to 8. The website is southlapride.com. Definitely want to give a shout out to Council President Marquise Harris Dawson and Council members Heather Hutt and Curran Price for their continued support. This was something that was started when my old boss was in office, former Council President Herb Wesson. and back then Councilmember Marquise Harris Dawson. That has continued under Council President Harris Dawson's leadership since Herb has left. And I think it's really particularly important. I think it's especially important this year because we've seen what has happened to the LGBTQ community throughout the country, not just here in California, where we're relatively, protected, but there's still a struggle, right? When you look at sports, when you look at some of the other issues that the Trump administration is trying to beat up on California for. So I think, and I always think folks just need a break. It's still summertime. Folks want to come together. This is a good, big, family community picnic. Everyone's welcome, allies and all. No haters, but yes, if you're an ally, you're definitely
haters,
welcome.
no allies. Yes, Kwamel says Catch One had non-LGBTQ events too.
They still
do. I
do?
was 16 and went to a Rep Pages event to see EPMD and Das Effects. Molly Bell says throwing away dishes if any gay person ate at their house. Jewel and the Cat, she was well renowned in the church scene, knew of her works. Yeah. Journalist Jasmyne Cannick is my guest, and you're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you that we keep us safe. Every girl deserves a chance to shine. That's the belief behind Forgiving for Living, Inc. Since 1999, this organization has been empowering at-risk girls ages 13 to 18, helping them overcome behavioral and mental health challenges. Founder Wendy Gladney's personal journey inspired the mission to give girls hope and purpose through the power of forgiveness. Through their ambassador program, workshops, and annual conference, Forgiving for Living has touched over 3,000 young lives, providing mentoring, life skills, training, and tools for building self-esteem and confidence. You can make a difference. Visit forgivingforliving.org to donate, volunteer, become a mentor, or find help for a young girl in need. Forgiving for Living, Inc., building brighter futures for young girls. Visit forgivingforliving.org today. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
JP Morgan Chase offers tips for the local business owners in 2025. Small business landscape is ever-changing, and the Los Angeles market is no exception. A startup or legacy business, revisiting your mission statement and recalibrating offerings can renew opportunities for growth and innovations. Programs like Chase for Business Coaching for Impact gives entrepreneurs access to expert guidance, helping you streamline operations, strategize your growth, and navigate complex challenges. Businesses with a clear sense of purpose can navigate any challenge effectively, but also build stronger customer loyalty. Visit chase.com/coaching for impact for more information. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
Hi, I'm Jesse Jackson Jr., inviting you to join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley here on KBLA Talk 1580. As a law school graduate and a theologian with a firm grasp of our body politic given almost 2 decades in Congress, my show is the fresh new home of an authentic, uncompromised quest for transformation and salvation, both personal and collectively, as I vigorously interrogate the theological and symbolic meanings embedded in our society. I promise to leverage my knowledge of history, theology, and both international and domestic issues to imagine an inclusive vision for the future, which I hope will inspire all of us to pursue life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness as a given, not just an aspiration. So join me weekdays at 12 noon right after Tavis Smiley for 2 hours of the Jesse Jackson Jr. Show only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Are you wet shaving? You'll get razor bumps.
Nah, Pops, I'm good with Gillette Skin Guard. How long you been growing that beard Mama hates anyway?
Since 77. I shaved and got ingrown so bad.
That's why I use the Gillette Skin Guard razor, face scrub, shave gel, and moisturizer. So I don't have to worry about new razor bumps or shaving irritation.
Gillette Skin Guard, huh? Your mama's gonna love this one.
The best a man can get keeps getting better with Gillette Skin Guard. Buy now at a retailer near you.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on autopsy, then click on request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this? We didn't think so. You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
You know it's good when you dance into the commercials, Jasmyne Cannick.
That was too short. Come on, whistle. I go on and on. I can't understand how it lasts so long.
Okay, Oaktown in the house, even though you're
You want to get a Gen X started, you put something on like that.
Well, yeah, speaking of freaky tales, that was a good transition, right?
That's a great transition.
Speaking of freaky tales.
Yep.
I just don't think Trump is going to easily shake Epstein. I just don't see it just going away.
No, I don't either. And for those of us who are not a part of the cult, hear me when I say this. It is our job to support our MAGA brothers and sisters and demanding that Epstein files be released. We need to back them up on this.
Unity. Okay.
We need, on this one issue, I'm going to call for a little bit of unity. But look, the Trump administration is doing the best they can with distractions from, like I said, the Kankles to, we discussed the MLK documents to,
trying to get one day for Breonna Taylor's shooter that,
right. The also Washington Redskins, Cleveland Indians, wanting to,
make America racist again.
Exactly. And I fully suspect there will be other things that continue to pop up probably in about an hour, knowing this administration. But you know what? Every time they do it, we have to chime in with our MAGA brothers and sisters and say, where the files? Do not fall for the okie doke. Where the files at? Where the files at?
Yeah, I think even that Obama AI that you described could have gone into that. They're like trying to do things to make the supposed liberal media angry, so we will do the work of distracting from Epstein for them.
Yeah, they, but to their bases, I say this loosely, credit, they're not letting it go.
I don't think they will either.
It is what he rode into office. He rode the conspiracy theory train into office. This is a huge deal to his cult. And like I said earlier, with popcorn and iced coffee in hand and some red vines, it is hilarious to listen to folks calling in and crying, really crying.
Because you really do listen to right-wing talk radio, so she's not making this up.
No. Yeah. I do. Got to know what everybody's saying. Can't just listen to choir. But this was actually, I saw this on social media. It was a montage, which I posted on my own, of Glenn Beck, like these different call-in shows with the callers calling it, and they were really crying, and they just couldn't believe that their dear leader was telling them that they needed to get over it,
and that they're stupid, or
right, and that
bad.
They're stupid. We all know everything's a hoax. Everything's a hoax.
Everything's a hoax. Well, today, a top Justice Department official, Todd Blanche, says he's pursuing an interview with Ghislaine Maxwell.
I saw that.
What is that? Is that another? What is that going to do? It makes it seem like they're doing something.
I don't know. It's so hard because I had mentioned this previously on social media. I said, but would you even believe what was in the files if the files were released? Because this is an administration that you really can't trust.
Yeah.
And I personally could not believe it. Like,
it'll be like with the Sharpie, like that storm, right? Do not look at the Trump parts over here where he's implicated. How could he not be implicated? He was the guy's best friend for like 15 years.
Exactly. So I have mixed feelings about it, but I'm sure though that we should be supporting our MAGA brothers and sisters and demanding it and pushing them towards, their anger and telling them they're justified in it. And bad Trump.
Meanwhile, Speaker Johnson is saying, no, we won't be voting on that, a measure to release those files this summer, as Dems try to push the line on it. So they're pretty much at a standstill.
They are, and hence the distractions, the many distractions that are right. It's like Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Right. And I think we'll continue to see these distractions. Don't be distracted. That's your assignment. Just don't be distracted.
Remind us where to find you.
Not in person.
Not on social media.
Oh, okay. At Hello Jasmyne, Jasmyne. Yeah, at Hello Jasmyne on Instagram. I'm Jasmine. I am not on X. Dominique, one of my promises I'm so proud of myself that I kept this year, I made it at the beginning of the year, was I was narrowing my interactions on social media. It's just too much. It's just too many, out there. So I kind of solely operate on Facebook and Instagram, and Threads only gets it because it's connected to my Instagram and it automatically goes there.
Okay.
So find me at Hello Jasmyne. My website also has all the details. I am Jasmyne.com. But yeah.
Thank you. News, traffic, and sports right now.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with BIN News Now. 700 active duty Marines are leaving Los Angeles today after being deployed since June to guard federal buildings during protests over immigration raids. Black Mayor Karen Bass calls their exit a victory.
Our voices were heard. They are not trained in crowd control. They're trained to fight on foreign lands.
2,000 National Guard troops have also been pulled, though another 2,000 remain. A white woman called police on black men playing basketball on the court at an apartment complex where one of them lived, claiming trespassing. A black officer arrived and sided with the players, citing a sign that allowed residents to play and invite guests. The TikTok video sparked outrage over racial profiling. And a 19-year-old pregnant black woman from Philadelphia was fatally